Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Delwox, and yeah, this video is gonna be an updated version of my Jitter Aim macro. If you happen to see my previous video, that's awesome. In that video, I showcased a Razor macro, which is awesome. However, the one I'm gonna show you right now is for Logitech. It is way better. It doesn't depend on your sensitivity, so no matter what you're using, it's gonna work perfectly fine. So yeah, let's get right into it. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. And actually, I met one of you in game the other day. And yeah, I'm gonna play the clip now. It's Alright, let's get into the video. And the disclaimer I have right now, for all the people that's been like, oh, you're cheating, Jitter Aiming is cheating, you can't use macros aren't allowed in Apex, ALGS doesn't allow macros, they say it openly. And while true, ALGS doesn't allow macros or config files, that doesn't apply to the whole game. They also don't allow heat shields in their games. That doesn't mean using a heat shield is gonna get you banned in ranked. That's not my point. Again, Jitter Aim is a macro. Like the stuff I'm going to show you right now, that is a macro 100%. I'm not like covering up the fact that I'm using the macro or config files. I do openly use them. For example, like the super glide macros. I use those all the time because they're awesome. My point here is that while they're not allowed in private tournaments, that's just a private person setting up the rules. In the open game, Apex allows macros and config files. You can use them without any issues. They're not going to get you banned. And if that were to change in the future, I'm going to edit this video title or remove the video entirely if people are still falling for it. But it's not bannable as of right now. In Season 15, there is nothing that says you can't use macros or you can't use config files. All of those are perfectly fine to use. And if you're gonna be in the comments, no, like, you have no point. You're too lazy to do it yourself, and you just don't like when other people do it. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So the way the Jitter Aim macro works, it's gonna shake your screen a certain amount with a certain delay in between each movement of the mouse. So it only works when ADSing for this specific script. So if I do ADS right now and aim, nothing happens. I have to toggle it. For me right now, I have it on caps lock. So if I press caps lock, if I ADS right now and fire, you can see the screen is shaking. It's not a very hard shake, but it is visible if you're standing still and nothing is moving. However, I guarantee you, if the enemy is moving, you're moving, you can barely notice it, if at all. Alright, so another thing, this Jitter Aim has a set delay between each shake. Now that delay is perfectly fine for most guns. However, if you're gonna use like a car SMG, I have to warn you, it's not gonna be a perfect beam 500 meters away. So I can control the car myself, that's not a problem. If I were to lift my mouse up and just let it fire by itself, here's what's gonna happen. It reduces the recoil slightly, but it is a very fast firing gun, to the point where it fires multiple bullets in a time that the Jitter Aim macro delay is. So unfortunately, it doesn't work very well on SMGs. So that goes for car. R99 still, I don't think it works very well, but you feel free to try and use it. It's not gonna make you any worse, if and all, so no issue there. My favorite guns to use the Jitter Aim macro on are Flatline R31, and for the reason I'm gonna show you now. So the Flatline does a very high damage per shot with doing 18 body shot and 29 headshot. That is a lot of damage. So the way they balance the Flatline is that it is pretty hard to control in range. Now, I am able to hit a decent spray on range, like 450, it's not my best or my worst. I can hit those sprays. However, the Jitter Aim macro comes in, and then you can do this. And it takes absolutely zero skill to do that, so bear in mind that this feels pretty powerful when you use it. Because you can forget about trying to control the recoil, you're just worrying about tracking your enemies. So it works perfectly fine with the Flatline, and that's my favorite gun to use it, because it was made to be harder on range because of its high damage, but if the range isn't an issue, then it's better than R31. However, I'm still going to show you the R31. So if we pick it up right here, again, no bar or stabilizer, just the gun itself. It's not a hard recoil pattern, it's the R31. So if you want to actually get better at the game, I recommend you don't use the Jitter Aim macro and you actually practice with the guns. However, if you already have a bunch of hours and you're just playing for fun, then yeah, Jitter Aim macro is completely fine. So let me try the 3x scope. Let me turn the macro on first. Yeah, so as you can see, it's perfect spray pattern. There's nothing you have to worry about. It's just gonna control the gun for you. This works with all of the scopes. So 2x scope is gonna work just fine, and the 4x magnification is also gonna work fine. Using on a 1x is kind of counterproductive because I don't think you're gonna be shooting your 1x scope on the range. However, it's still there if you want to do that. I don't see the reason to, but go for it. So yeah, now this Jitter Aim macro has one downside, and that's if you're using a gun, for example, like a Wingman or Mastiff, which are very common this season. And it's because it's still gonna shake when you ADS. So it's gonna throw your, especially if you like hold down your mouse button for longer. It's gonna feel really awkward to line up the shots with a 1x scope gun that's gonna move slightly out of the way every time you click. So for those guns, I recommend having like the caps lock bind. You can just turn it off and line up your shots properly, hit them, and don't worry about it. So yeah, I'm gonna have some clips playing in the background right now if you wanna check out how the Jitter Aim looks in game. It's pretty powerful, but again, a disclaimer, it's not gonna make you a pro player. It's not giving you aimbot, it's not giving you perfect tracking. All it does is removes the recoil. So don't think you're gonna be like Imperial Hal or Asu just after like activating the script for the first time.